8, let's start by taking the absence. If I call your name, answer me, type in the chat. Otherwise, you will be absent. Abdulaziz Sana. Do we have Abdulaziz Sana? Type in the chat Abdulaziz or raise your hand. Abdulaziz Sana, hello. Abdul Malik Adib Mutiri. Abdurrahman Saeed. Abdurrahman Saeed.
Did you put me?
Ahmad.
No, my name.
No, not yet. Ali Hussein. Ali. Ali is sleeping. Faisal Shalan. Not here. Khalid Murdi. Khalid Al-Malki. I believe you have a problem, Ali, in your internet connection. Khalid Al-Atib. Abdul Malik, type something in the chat if you are with us. Khalid Al-Malki, type something in the chat, please. Okay, Abdul Malik. Khalid Al-Malki, Khalid Al-Atibi, Khalid Al-Khalifa. Okay, Al-Malki. He is not here. Mashal Al-Turki. Mashal Al-Turki and Muhammad Al-Atibi.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Mashal Al-Turki, Muhammad Al-Atibi. Muhammad Al-Falih and Muhammad Al-Khayyat.
I'm here.
Okay, Muhammad Al-Falih. Muhammad Rami and Nawaf Al-Fallah. Muhammad Rami is absent. Nawaf, if you are here, type something in the chat or raise your hand. Okay, Nawaf. Usama and Saif. Usama and Saif, if you are here, raise your hands or type something in the chat. Usama and Saif. Saleh Al-Anazi. Samir, Turki, Zuhair, and Hussein.
Yes, I am unfortunately here.
Unfortunately. Why unfortunately?
Because, you know.
No, I don't know. So guys, those who are with us, please open your book page 59 about the adjectival clauses. So, in order to speak about the adjectival clauses, we need first to ask ourselves this question. What is the meaning of an adjectival clause? Can anyone answer this? So, what is the meaning of the adjectival clause? What is it, and how can we know it in the sentence? Any opinion? Dead people, hello, come back to life.
Risen from the dead. Adjective clauses probably mean an adjective that connects two sentences together.
Thank you. So, we have already studied the adjective before, and we said that any adjective means a word that describes a noun, right? So, an adjective means a word that describes a noun, like when we say smart boy. So, smart here describes the boy. So, when we speak about the adjectival clause, it means that you are using total clause, okay, in order to describe a noun. So instead of using just one word, which is smart, no, we will use a clause to describe a noun. So adjectival clauses an adjective clause or adjective clauses is subordinate clause. Subordinate clause meaning that not main clause, not giving complete information. So it cannot stand alone as a sentence. They are only subordinate clauses, and they modify the noun or the pronoun. They modify the noun or the pronoun. Like for example, when we say the tree that dropped its leaves is the sick one. So in this case, we use the subordinated clause that dropped its leaves in order to describe just one noun, which is the trees. Consequently, this subordinate clause is called an adjectival clause. The same thing here. Ellen wanted luggage that had wheels on it. So that had wheels on it, describing the luggage. And the other example, the neighborhood where my house is on a hill. So where my house is describes the neighborhood. Pharaoh's relatives who live in Egypt. So the relatives are the ones living in Egypt. So when you have a subordinate clause to describe a noun, it is called an adjectival clause. So in practice number 8, we are asked to read each sentence and then to underline the adjectival clause in each one. Starting with Zuhair. I asked Tony for the jersey that he wore today.
I asked Tony for the jersey today. Tony. Um. Is it jersey?
Jersey is the direct object, or the object of the proposition. So,
I
what
don't
is
really
the
understand it.
sentence to describe the jersey?
That
Which
he
jersey
wore.
are you speaking about? Yeah, the jersey that
Oh.
spoke about today.
Okay, good. Understand.
Okay, Muhammad Al Khayyat.
Yes.
Number 2.
Leo gives points to the people who work extra. Who work extra? People.
So, who work extra describes the people. Which people did he give the points to? Those who work.
Teacher, no, the first one that he worked today.
Yes,
This is
that
the adjective clause.
that's the adjectival clause because it describes the noun, which is the jersey. And the second one, who work extra, describing the noun, which is people. Okay, Muhammad.
Okay.
So number 3, can you answer it? Our truck, which is 25 years old.
Okay. Our truck, which is 25 years old, still runs well. Runs well.
So still runs well. This is what describes
Adjective
what.
clause.
No, that's not the adjectival clause. Which truck are you speaking about?
Okay. I think it which is 25 years old.
So the one that is 25 years old, describing modifies the truck.
No,
So
teacher.
that's the adjectival clause. Yes, Muhammad.
Teacher, so it's need the adjective clause need to modify like I think like a truck or a people or
Yeah,
modifies a noun.
modifies a noun. Clause, subordinate clause
Okay.
that modifies a noun. Subordinate clause that starts with a subordinating conjunction, modifying a noun, modifying a noun. John
Can I
is
answer number 4?
yes, Hussein. John is the one
John is the one whom the team
relies.
relies on. The clause is whom the team relies on.
So whom the team relies on modifies.
John.
Yeah, the one which is John.
John.
Yes. The cup that client left outside is now filled with rain water. So which cup are we speaking about?
Teacher, can I answer?
Yes, OTV.
The cup that Clint left outside is now filled with rainwater. That Clint left outside or that Clint left outside.
Which cup we are speaking about? The one that the client left outside. And number 6, we have Mrs. Kim promoted Jay, who put in 10 hours. So she promoted him. She gave him a raise because he works for 10 hours. So she promoted him. So what about Jay? What happened to Jay? He works for 10 hours. So who put in 10 hours? Describing Jay. And number 7, the hat that I wear in winter is made of wool. Which hat are you speaking about? Number 7, the hat that I wear in winter is made of wool.
I'm pretty sure he's talking about the hat I wear in winter.
So that I wear in winter describes the hat. Last but not least, Jen, whose opinion I value, is my coach. So we have whose opinion I value describes Jen. To make it easier, guys, okay, ellipse all of these. To make sure that your answer is correct. Ellipse them.
These are more details.
So bravo, Hussein. They just serve more details. Yet the main clause still remains. The main clause still remains. Meaning that you still have the information, the complete information. I asked Tony for the jersey. Leo gives points to the people. Our truck still runs well. John is the one. The cup is now filled with rainwater. Mrs. Kim promoted Jay. The hat is made out of wool. Jen is my coach. So the adjectival clause just gives us extra information about a noun that they describe. Consequently, we can take them out of the sentence, and then the sentence will make sense. Okay, so that's how you can check your answer is correct. And number 2, we are asked to read each pair of sentence, then to combine them together using an adjectival clause. Muhammad Al-Khayyat, you will start.
Sue likes her pears in her smoothies. Her father grows the pears from his farm.
So I have here pears and sentence number 1, and also the pears in sentence number 2.
Sue likes pears, which her father grows on his farm.
Bravo. So simply we ellipse pears from the second clause, and we included the information about that after the noun in the first one. So Sue likes pears. That her father grew in his farm, all of that identifies the pears in here. Very good, Muhammad. And number 2, Angelo attends River High School. River High School has a good science program. So here,
Oh, sorry. Your voice got really delayed. Teacher.
number 2,
Yeah.
Angelo
Angela attends River High School. River High School has a good science program. River has a good science program.
So in number 2 here we have River High School. We have River High School in sentence number 1, and River High School in number 2. So we can just ellipse that and ellipse and say or which. So Angelo attends River High School, that or which has a science program. But if you are including the comma, you do not use that. If you are including the comma, if you do not put the comma, use that or which. And number 3, I recently found my sunglasses in my beach bag. I lost them last summer. Seen? So we have sunglasses and we have them. Hussein, can you answer number 3?
Yes, teacher. I recently found my sunglasses in my beach bag. I had lost them last summer. I recently found my sunglasses, which I had lost last summer, my beach bag in my beach.
Bravo, 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 bravo. So simply we removed them from the next sentence and we included that after a relative pronoun. So I recently found my sunglasses, which I had lost in my beach bag. Very good. Atabi. Hamad Atabi, still with us?
Yes. Yes.
Number 4.
Okay. First man family is from Adsa. Froman likes to spend time in the West Texas.
This is a little bit tricky. So start with the first sentence and the second one, and include information for the first one.
Froman's family is from Odisha. Then we have a thing, a comma. What?
To make it easier, invert the two sentences. So imagine that the sentence, the first one is Thurman likes to spend time in West Texas, and the second one is Thurman's family is from Odisha.
Okay.
So in that case, we include information from the second one into the first one. So you guys. So you have here Thurman's family, okay, and you have here Thurman. So we can say Thurman likes to spend time in West Odessa. That would be our first sentence. That's the first sentence, number 1. And this would be number 2. So we say Thurman, whose family is from Odessa, likes to spend time in West Texas. So we did not change anything. We just made the two sentences inverted. Last one. Sarah acts and plays. She wants to move to Hollywood someday. So the same thing. We have here Sarah, and we have here she. So we can say two things. We can say Sarah, who wants to move to Hollywood someday, acts and plays, or we can say Sarah, who acts and plays, wants to move to Hollywood someday. So we can invert both of them, and both of them will be correct. Alright, grade 9, grade 8, sorry.
Teacher, we finished the page. Really, what do we do?
We'll finish the page, yes. We will move into the next one, or we don't have time.
I don't have any problem.
I beg your pardon.
I don't have any problem.
Okay, so let's take things easy, since most of you are dying, and watch a little video about the adjectival clauses. Oh, I like this woman. She has a very good African accent.
Easy peasy. Hey guys, I'm Carrie. In this video, you'll be learning all you need to know about adverb clauses. An adverb An adverb clause is a subordinate clause that modifies a verb, an adjective, or an adverb. An adverb clause tells how, when, where, why, to what extent, or under what condition. For example, Donna sounds as if she has caught a cold. The adverb clause, as if she has caught a cold, modifies the verb sounds, telling how Donna sounds. Another example. Before he left, he washed the dishes. The adverb clause, before he left, modifies the verb washed, telling when he washed the dishes. Another example. You will see our house where the road turns right. The adverb clause, where the road turns right, modifies the verb will see, telling where you will see our house.
So once again, all of these adverb clauses, the ones in the blue color, all of them, you can elapse them from the sentence and still the sentence makes sense because you're just giving extra information to describe a noun. So you'll see our house, complete information. But where the road turns right tells you about the house or describes it. Where can you see it?
An additional example. Will you move so that I can see? The adverb clause, so that I can see, modifies the verb will move, telling why you will move. Another example. Your stereo is louder than it should be. The adverb clause, than it should be, modifies the adjective louder, telling to what extent the stereo is louder. Another example. Andre can type faster than anyone else in his computer class can. The adverb clause, than anyone else in his computer class can, modifies the adverb faster, telling to what extent Andre can type faster. An additional example. As long as he starts early, he will arrive on time. The adverb clause, as long as he starts early, modifies the verb will arrive, telling under what condition he will arrive on time. Notice in the last example given that an adverb clause that begins a sentence is followed by a comma. Subordinating conjunctions. An adverb clause is introduced by a subordinating conjunction, a word that shows the relationship between the adverb clause and the word or words that the clause modifies. Unlike a relative pronoun which introduces an adjective clause, a subordinating conjunction does not serve a grammatical function in the clause it introduces. Here is a list of common subordinating conjunctions.
That's very important. You need to know them so that you can identify whether the clause in front of you is a subordinating one or a main one. So if you found any clause that starts with after, although, as, if, as long as soon as, though, as well as, because, before, even though, if, in order, that, in order to, provide, that, since, so that, then, though, unless, until, when, whenever, where, whatever, whether, while, and why. Any one of these. Additional to them, you will add the relative pronouns. Okay, who, which, that, where, whose. All of them makes the subordinating conjunction, meaning that they are making a subordinating clause, the one that cannot stand alone. So it's a good idea to take a screenshot from them so that you can write. So if you may take a screenshot so that you can write them.
Tips and tricks. Some of the words that introduce adverb clauses may also introduce adjective clauses and noun clauses. To determine what kind of clause the introductory word begins, look at how the clause is used in the sentence. For example, adjective clause. The day when we got our puppy was a Friday. The clause when we got our puppy modifies the noun day, and for that reason, it's an adjective clause telling what kind of day it was. Here's an example of the subordinating conjunction when being used in a noun clause. Does Zane remember when we got our puppy? The clause when we got our puppy is the direct object of the verb remember. And for that reason, when introduces a noun clause. Here is a look at when being used in an adverb clause. Our older dog sulked a little when we got our puppy. The clause when we got our puppy modifies the verb sulked. And for that reason, when we got our puppy is an adverb clause. See the difference? Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to check out my other cool videos. Like.
So simply, guys, the adjective clauses and the adverb clauses, all of them serve for the same purpose, which is modifying a noun or a verb or adverb or even adjective. And the sentence, and all of them, the adjective clauses and also the adverb clauses that we will start next session, all of them gives us more information about the noun or the word or the verb in the sentence. They cannot stand alone as main clause. So any questions so far? Okay, once again, let's check the absence. Abdulaziz Sana. Did he join us? Abdulaziz Sana. Raise your hand or type in the chat, Sana. Okay. Abdurrahman Nabil. Raise your hand or type in the chat. Yasin. Yes, you can.
Bye, teacher.
Bye, see you next session. Ahmad. Faisal Al-Sha'lan.
Bye, teacher.
Goodbye, Khalid. Khalid Al-Atibi and Khalid Al-Khalifa. If you are here, raise your hands. Okay, Khalid. Mashal Al-Doqi and Muhammad Al-Faleh. Raise your hand or type in the chat. Goodbye, Ali. محمد رامي أسامة سيف صالح. محمد رامي not here, أسامة not here, safe and صالح collapsed. Thamer and Turkey. Thamer, Turkey Shomrani, can you raise your hand? Alright, grade 9. Sorry, grade 8.